We're going to start this morning's practice very briefly in a child's pose. So go there and do that. We can all do that. So child's pose is a great way to start. It's grounding, it's supportive. Connect to your breath this morning. Ujjayi breathing is what we'll focus on. Inhalation is through the nose. Exhalation is through the nose. And once again, I'll be showing lots of interesting modifications and variations. So it's kind of cool if you want to try things. Spread your collarbone. The inhale through your nose, the exhale through the nose, let it slip through the back of the throat. So from your child's pose this morning, if you have blocks, just move them out of the way. You're going to slither forward all the way onto your belly. Okay, a little different, all the way down onto your belly. You're going to cross your arms, your forearms, like a little pillow at the top of your mat. You're going to make a connection with your forehead towards the top of your forearms. Separate your feet so they're about hips width distance. Point your toes. Yep. Activate your legs. And on your exhale breath, you're going to lift just your torso up with your arms connected towards your forehead. Legs are going to stay really anchored, and you're going to feel this through your lower back. Good. So as you lift, the upper shoulder blades come off, the neck stays nice and neutral, and your legs are pressing firm into the mat. Lift a little higher. Exhale the breath, lower down. You're going to switch the cross. So the opposite forearm comes on top of the bottom forearm. The forehead connects to your forearms. You're going to take an inhale breath. And on a sharp exhale, anchor your legs and just lift the upper body a little bit up off the ground. Keep the forehead connected to the forearms as you lift. Press like crazy through the tops of your feet. Lift a little higher. Exhale the breath, come down. Bring your forehead directly to the ground. Slide your arms forward like you're swimming. Bend your right leg up. Reach back with your right hand. Grab your ankle. So once again, if you can't grab your ankle today, you're just going to make the action of the shape. So your hand will reach and your leg will bend. Take an inhale breath. And on the exhale breath, you're going to lift the left hand and the left leg and softly, gently kick your right foot into your right hand. So it's kind of like a half floor bow. Keep the neck neutral. Reach and stretch through the left side of your body as you kick your right foot a little bit more into your right hand. Exhale the breath, lower down. Bring both arms forward to reset. Forehead comes. Right arm stays, left leg bends. Left arm reaches back, grab your ankle. So once again, if you can't grab, you're just going to create this shape. Giant breath in. On the exhale breath, lift up. Right hand and right foot lift away from the ground. Left foot kicks into the left hand, and it may be a very small movement. Keep the belly down. Lift a little higher. Exhale the breath. Lower it down. Bring the arms forward again. Bend your right leg up, okay? Bend your right leg up. Keep your right arm forward. Reach your left hand back. So you're going to take the opposite hand to the opposite foot. So right arm is forward and left leg, left hand grabs your right ankle. Take a giant breath in. Lift everything up. So it's kind of this cross across the backside of your body. Lift a little higher. Keep the neck neutral. Exhale the breath. Lower everything down. Reach the arms forward one more time. Bend your left leg up. Reach with your right hand. Grab your ankle. Take a giant breath in. On the exhale breath, lift everything up. Point the right toes. Reach with the left hand. Keep the neck neutral. Exhale the breath. Let it go. Slide the hands back down to the lower, like the lower part of where your ribs and your belly button connect. Good. Slide yourself into an up dog. Activate your legs and pull your chest through your body. Look up a little with your eyes. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. So downward facing dog, take up a lot of space on your mat. Your hands are as wide as your mat. Your feet are about hips width distance. You can bend behind your knees as much as you need. Yeah. Broaden across the upper shoulder blades. Perfect. And because it's 23 degrees here, if you're somewhere else where it's warmer, you may still need to bend your knees, but the bent knees is going to help the lift of the tailbone. Yeah. And then from there, you're going to start to take the round out of the spine, which is what we want. Keep breathing your body like away from the ground. It looks good, Tracy. Pick a dristi. That's something to focus on, because half this practice is not physical. It's just about kind of quieting your body and your mind and your breath. Roll forward to plank from your downward facing dog. Plank could be modified with your knees down. You can take every one like this and nobody cares. If you want to work really hard, you take everyone with your knees lifted. Broaden across the upper shoulders. Keep your dristi forward to the front edge of your mat. Contract your thighs. Bring more weight forward onto your tippy toes. Bend your elbows in half to a chaturanga. Wherever you are, knees can stay down. Drag yourself through a nice, smooth, upward facing dog. Broaden across the upper collarbone. Look up a little with your eyes. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. One more time, roll forward to a plank. Let your body just move forward to a plank. Drop your knees if you need support this morning. Bend your elbows in half to a chaturanga. Pull yourself through a smooth up dog. Activate your legs. Press through the tops of the feet. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Look to the top of the mat. Take 2 big steps to get there this morning. When you arrive, your feet can come together or they can be a little separated. Long spine on the inhale. Hands can also rest on the front of the shins. Exhale, fold over yourself. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer at heart center. So here we go. Drop your arms by your side body. Look forward with your eyes. Good. Sweep your arms straight up towards the sky. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine or hands to your shins. Exhale, fold again. Good. Root to rise, come all the way up. Hands to prayer at heart. Arms drop by side body. So these are amended sun A's. Stretch the arms straight up towards the sky, anchor. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips, long spine, create some space. Exhale, fold again. Root to rise, come all the way up, feel the ground. Drag the hands to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Again, arms reach straight up towards the sky, look up. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips, long spine. This time, step to plank. Bend your elbows in half to a chaturanga. Pull yourself to a nice, smooth, upward facing. Activate your legs, broaden across the upper collarbone. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. So as we start to flow and pick up the pace a little, you move at your own pace. Look where you want to go. Step or float your feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale breath. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Anchor. Drag your hands to prayer at heart. Stand tall. Drop your arms for a second. Good. Reach the arms back up towards the sky. Dive again over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Step or float through your vinyasa. So you do what you need this morning. Upward facing dog pulls you through. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. So just grounding yourself. Look where you want to go. Step or float your feet to the top. So just arrive safe. Long spine on the inhale, keep the weight forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up again. Drag your hands to prayer, drop your arms. So less thinking, more feeling our way through. Slide the arms back up towards the sky. Dive again over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine prepares you. Exhale, step or float through your vinyasa. Upward facing dog pulls you through. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. So in your downward facing dog, you're gonna take your toes to the left and your heels to the right, okay? So it just looks like this. So your heels go to the right, your toes to the left, your hands firm. Good. From here, you're gonna lean onto your right hand for a Vashisthasana side plank with your left foot in front of your right, and your left foot is kind of set up like a warrior two. You can modify with your bottom knee down, slide the left arm up. Just another way to be in a side plank with the feet staggered, but your top foot is digging firm into the mat and you're creating a warrior two foot. So it's really engaged. Lift from your bottom hip and slide the left arm straight up as you look up with your eyes. Firm up that bottom tricep, press the hand firm into the mat and lift from your bottom hip. Stay connected to your breath. The second we lose the breath, the pose definitely dramatically changes or ends. Take another big breath in. Look down with your eyes, come to a plank. When you get to plank, hug your right knee towards your navel, point your toes. You're in a plank with your knee towards your navel. Good. Keep looking forward. Glide your right foot all the way forward and through. Activate your back leg, coming to a crescent lunge. We're going to sweep our arms out and up. Crescent lunge can be taken with the back knee down as an option. Good. So back leg's strong for most of you. Knee can come to the floor. Feel your outer hips grip in. Feel the weight in your right heel. Drag the hands to a prayer at heart for a second. Yes. Turn your torso to the right and then open up your arms again, nice and wide. So you're just taking this little kind of micro twist and you may feel like you're a little stuck in space. That's okay. Just breathe across your torso here. Yeah. Look to the right, maybe look a little bit like you're kind of looking back without actually doing so. Just kind of like feeling the sensation like you want to look back. We want to stay very lifted. Now, take the left hand and slide it to the inside of the foot and the right arm up into an easy twist. Easy twist. A block underneath your bottom hand is really helpful. Yeah, grip your outer hip underneath you. So that would be your right hip. Hug it in nice and tight. Yeah, and your arms are like side plank arms. So these shapes keep showing up. You got it. Nice, Margaret. Still there. It didn't freeze. I know I was taking a class and I was like, did the screens freeze? No, he was just holding the pose forever. Look down with your eyes. Take both hands to frame your front foot. Keep your right foot where it is. Turn your back foot strong, back to that warrior two foot. Reach for a block or 7 of them if you need 7 blocks today. Place your right hand to the instep of your foot. Lean back a little bit and slide your left arm up into a V variation with extended side angle. Alternative is just to rest your arm on the top of your thigh. This is a great option. Grip your right hip tightly underneath you. Turn your bottom ribs. Stack your 2 arms nicely here. The sensation of your back leg is super strong. And you're leaning back a little bit into your inner thigh, or your arm is just resting there. Good, but it's very light. These look great. Stay with it. Keep bending deep into your thigh, not into the knee. Couple more breaths. Spread your feet wide, anchor your legs, pull up to a warrior two. Don't bounce. If the stance feels like it needs a little more space this morning, widen the stance. Yeah, your whole torso is facing towards the long edge of your mat. There's no twist. Breathe across the upper register of your torso And really open up wide. I like my thumbs facing up. Close your eyes if it's available to you, or just pick a spot to focus in and see if you can kind of create a meditation for yourself. It is possible. Turn up the inner part of your right thigh. Yeah, so when I say that, I mean you want to roll your thigh open so you can create this openness. Good. Stay with me, guys. Bring your arms directly forward. Wrap your left arm underneath your right arm. Eagle the arms. Lengthen your tailbone. Hold 5 more breaths. There's no twist of your torso. Yes, there's no yanking down of your elbows. It's a lifting up, and you're creating this kind of openness. As an alternative to eagle arms, you can also just kind of wrap your arms together like such as this. If something's bothering you in your shoulders. On the next sharp exhale breath, unravel your arms. Yep. Look forward with your eyes, circle your hands to frame your front foot, move through a vinyasa, or just step right back to a downward facing dog. You choose what you need today. Once you get back to your downward facing dog, turn your heels to the left and your toes to the right. Yep. So just a small movement where your right foot comes in front of your left. And then walk your left hand an inch forward and then lean onto your left hand for Vashisthasana, where your right leg is really grounded in a warrior 2. Or go ahead and just drop your bottom knee down and support in a modified version. Lift from your bottom hip. These look great. That right leg is the supporting character to this pose. So it's really helping you anchor and keep your hips aligned, even with the bottom knee down. Breathe across your upper torso. Stay with it. Look down, place both hands to frame your front foot, find a plank and hug your left knee to your navel. So in plank, hug your knee straight into the center line of your navel and keep looking forward. Good. Land your left foot forward and through, anchor your legs and come up to a crescent lunge. Back leg strong or bottom knee down. Feel the weight in your standing left heel. Hip points are forward, side body is long. Spread your collarbone, look up a little with your eyes. Connect to your breath. Drag your hands to prayer for a second and turn your torso, so from above your belly button and up, just a little bit to the left. So just a small movement, and then reopen up your arms and see if you can create some space for yourself. And if the stability of having the back leg engaged kind of takes you out, you can just do what I'm doing too. Grip your left hip underneath you. The goal is to find the proper alignment. Reach out with your right hand, slide it to the instep. Your hand to a block is great. Left arm slides up into an easy twist this morning. Any variation of an easy twist, back leg strong, it's going to be like a plank. Grip your outer hip in. Stack the 2 shoulders nicely on top of one another, and then look up with your eyes. The moments that you want to exit the pose is when the practice actually kicks up. Look down, take both hands to frame your front foot, keep your left foot where it is, turn your back foot again strong, make sure you're heel to heel, reach for a block, set it up on the instep of your foot, left arm presses firm, and then right arm extends up. Arm can also rest on the top of the thigh this morning to create a different variation of this. Grip your left hip glute strong underneath you. These look great. Turn your bottom ribs up towards the sky and recreate your arms like a side plank. Yeah. And nothing fancy needs to happen this morning. You're just here, you're breathing, you're holding. That left hip likes to jut out. So see if you can kind of grip it underneath you a little bit more. Yeah. And right here is where most of us want to run. So just stay for a drop longer. Feel your feet really firm. Feel almost like you're going to pull the mat apart. Lead with your top arm, warrior two, without any bounce. Pull yourself up. First, just kind of reset up warrior two, create a longer, wider stance if needed. Lengthen your tailbone. Fix your eyes on something. Turn your torso so it's facing the fat edge of your mat. Right, so there's no twisting. Feel your feet on the floor, and it's okay. Sometimes we just have to drop our arms. Bring your arms straight forward. Yeah, bring them straight forward. And then go ahead and wrap your right arm underneath your left. If you think you mixed up the arms, just do the arm you didn't stretch yet. Yeah, that happens. Rather than yanking down, elbows lift. And if something funky is going on in your shoulders this morning, you can just have your arms together like this. This is creating the same action. Right, this is fine. Rather than pulling down, lift your elbows up and then lengthen your tailbone. Turn the inner thigh open. That's great, Nancy. And breathe. On the next sharp exhale breath, unravel your arms big, spread open, warrior two. Look forward with your eyes, circle your hands to frame your front foot, vinyasa. Or skip it and go right to a downward facing dog. When you get to your downward facing dog, land your right foot forward, turn your back foot strong, come up warrior one. If you have a thing against warrior one, you take crescent lunge, with the back knee down. Some of you look really excited in your Zoom boxes this morning. Yes. Hands to frame your front foot, step back, vinyasa, or move right through a downward facing dog. Yep, so you just move from the top of your mat if that's what you're doing today. When you get to your down dog, slide your left foot forward, turn your back foot strong, warrior one, and come on up. Your back foot's at a pretty strong angle, so your right ribs can turn forward. Energetically reach with your arms. Hands come down to frame your front foot. Vinyasa or right to a downward facing dog, you pick. Up dog should feel good. It is a back bend. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in through your nose. Deep breath out. Let it go. Look where you want to go. Step or float your feet to the top. When you get there, you're going to arrive light. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Sit into a chair pose. Your feet can be hips width distance this morning if that feels like a little bit more relief for your lower back, or your feet can be together. Stick your tush all the way back. Lift your torso and your chest up. And your arms can be straight up or they can be open a little wider. They can even be cactused. Find something that works for you. Press up to a standing position. Drag your hands to prayer at heart and stand tall. Drop your arms. Stretch the arms straight up towards the sky and recreate your chair from the top of your mat. Strong chair, top of the mat. The weight should move back into your heels. Yeah. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold, let yourself go. Long spine on the inhale breath. Step or float through your vinyasa this morning. Up dog is smooth. Yeah, hips up and back, downward facing. The right foot lands, the back foot turns, warrior one. So secure your back foot down if you're taking a traditional warrior one. Hands come down, move through a vinyasa or right to a downward facing dog. If you need more, you take an extra push-up. That's also an option. From the down dog, the left foot lands, the back foot turns, secure first, then come up, warrior one. Hands come down, vinyasa or not. Up dog is smooth, the legs are strong, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, take a full breath out. Look where you want to go, step or float your feet to the top. You got it. Long spine on the inhale at the top, exhale, fold, sit again into chair, weight moves into your heels. Press up to stand, drag your hands to prayer. From the top of the mat, here we go, arms reach up big, sit again into chair. As you lower your seat, you see if you can really bring your weight back. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips, long spine, step that step through a vinyasa or move and float back through a chaturanga. When you get to your downward facing dog, land your right foot forward, turn your back foot strong. Warrior one, come on up. Bring it back down to the floor, vinyasa or not. You can move through a down dog, that's cool. From your downward facing dog, land your left foot forward, turn the back foot strong. Here we go, come on up. The right ribs turn and there's a strong anchor. Hands come down, vinyasa or right to a downward facing dog. That's where we'll meet. Take a deep breath in. Take a full exhale, breath out. We'll just do one more together. Look where you want to go. Step or float your feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale. Keep the weight forward. Exhale, fold. Sit deep, chair pose. Weight moves into your heels. Press up to stand. Drag the hands to prayer. Just keep it moving. Arms slide up. Sit again into a chair. Weight moves into your heels. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Come to the fingertips, long spine to prepare. Step or float through your vinyasa. From your downward facing dog, land your right foot forward, turn your back foot strong, warrior one, bring it up. Back down to the floor, vinyasa or downward facing dog. From that downward facing dog, land your left foot forward, turn your back foot strong, come on up, warrior one. Nice work. Hands back down through a vinyasa or meet me in a downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Take a full side breath out through your mouth. Anchor your hands. Good. Look in between your hands. Go ahead and step your right foot smack in between your hands. Turn your back foot strong. Have your block at the top of the mat. You may need it. Grab your right shin and come right into a triangle here from the ground up. Yeah. So I was explaining, like a wider positioning in a triangle can feel really good for some of us. For some of us, we need a much tighter stance for the low back or for the support of the core. Right. If you need a block, the block always goes to the outside of your calf. Yeah, and it can go any level that you feel that you need a lift. So feel like you're pulling the pant leggings up your leg and see if that creates a level of an element of a lift. Yeah, keep pressing through your feet, keep squeezing your inner and outer thighs, and feel the side of your body really zipped up. Stay with it a little longer. So right foot stays forward, right hip's gonna hug in, look down and float up into a half moon. Hand can come to your hip. Yeah. The block comes just enough out in front of you that you can find that level of balance. Right foot must stay forward like Tadasana, which is a straight leg. The tendency is the toes want to turn in. Lift from the inner left thigh, spark up your left toes really strong. And then if you can move your hand away from your hip, you can reach it up towards the sky this morning. Stack your body nicely. Yeah. And this is where we just need to work it out. Sometimes we just have to work it out. If you fall out of the pose, it's okay. You come back again. Make sure your right arm, Jody, straight. Yeah, perfect. So if you look quickly with your eyes, that generally takes us out. So just find something that's not moving and stay with it. If you added in a Shavasana, just release that, guys. Left hand comes to the floor, square your hips off. Step your feet together at the top of the mat. Sit into a pretty bold chair. Don't be afraid of it. Slide your hands to a prayer at heart. Inhale that breath, hook the elbow and take it to the right. Yeah. Watch that the whole left side of your body doesn't go with you. Yeah, so I say back out if you feel like that's happening, and really create the alignment. Feet together, shins together, knees together, weight in your heels, and then get in there. And then if you feel that you want to open up your arms this morning and kind of make this big T shape, go ahead and try that. If not, just stay with this. Keep moving that weight into your heels. You got it. Stay strong in your legs, pull around to a chair. Really feel the weight in your heels. Feel the weight strong in your heels. Sit deep, sit really deep. Sit all the way down so your butt hits the floor. Your feet are gonna stay flat on the ground for a moment, and your arms are gonna reach up. So you're just creating this kind of modified version of a boat pose. Good. Torso is very lifted, arms are straight up. Good. Feet are grounded for a moment. Inner thighs wrap in. Hands are gonna come flat down to the ground, and if you can, you lift your legs up at any level. Knees can stay bent, toes flexed, draw the belly in. The hands press firm. There's a broadening of your upper shoulder blades. Yeah, so it's a supported amended boat with your hands down. Keep the hands down. Slide yourself into Ardha Navasana. So Ardha Navasana is like where you hover the mat. The legs can stay straight up towards the sky, but the shoulder blades are going to scoop up and they're going to lift. The neck stays long. The more advanced version, the legs are going to hover the mat. Yep, find something that works. You're in an Ardha Navasana. I like the hands flat on the ground if that's available to you. Keep pressing the palms flat into the floor. Rebend your knees, come up to a supported boat pose with your hands down, but your torso is lifted, so your collarbone is spreading and your knees can bend. Good. Try it again. Lower, kind of slide your palms forward and lower again into a low boat pose. An Ardha Navasana. The legs can be at a 90-degree angle. That's a great way to take this if it's too much. Keep anchoring the hands. Scoop up the shoulder blades and draw the navel in. Pull back up. Supported boat. It's kind of sliding yourself back up into that supported boat. You got it. Cross your ankles. Step or float through a vinyasa. You pick. Sometimes the transition is not pretty. Right. And you just have to kind of crawl back. That's okay too. Upward facing dog should feel good if you're taking it. Downward facing dog is where we meet. From your downward facing dog, keep it moving. Step your left foot smack in between your hands. Turn your back foot strong. And from the ground up, you set up triangle. You just grab your shin somewhere on your leg and peel yourself open. Yeah. You got it. So if you feel like your shoulders kind of crunching up, create more space for yourself. Yeah, Dara's doing a great version. She's reaching the arm kind of forward towards the front edge of the mat, or you can even go to the wide edge of the mat where you're hovering your bottom arm. Right. Stay with it. There's a scissoring of your inner and outer thighs. It looks great, Margaret. Nice. 2 more breaths. If you added any arm extension here, just take your hand back down to your shin. Yeah, reset. And then look down, focus on your standing leg, grip it in strong and float up to your half moon. Yep. Some days you need to go to the wall. Be okay to allow yourself to do those things. Right. Your inner thigh lifts, the toes flex. The bottom ribs really open here. And then you add in what you need. Maybe it's just focusing on the balance. Maybe it's keeping your hand on your hip. Maybe it's adding the bind. And if you bind, the foot goes behind you and the kick is pretty strong behind you. There's a spinning of those bottom ribs. Some days it's falling out 10 times and restarting again. Wherever you are, come back to your breath and maintain. If you added in anything fancy or funky, release to a traditional half moon. Look down, square your hips, right hand comes to the floor, line your feet up together or a little separated, sit again into chair. Sit deep into chair. Slide your hands to prayer. Inhale that breath, hook the elbow, take it to the left. Yeah. Watch the right side that it doesn't wrap forward. Keep digging the weight into your heels. This is one of those poses when you practice it a lot, like you can learn to be really efficient in the pose. You don't want to feel like you're cranking into it, right? Do a little less to feel a little bit more in the posture. Open up your arms if you want. Yeah, and you can even do kind of a half open. So your bottom arm can stay bent and the top arm can extend up. Some days this is what I do just to keep me aligned. Yeah, perfect. Nice, Jody. I like that for you because it helps to open up the chest. Stay in your legs strong, guys. Okay, come up to a chair. Come up to a chair pose. Come up to chair. Wrap your right arm under your left. Wrap your right thigh around for eagle. Just traditional eagle here. We're going to do something else after this. Just traditional eagle. Think of your legs in the chair. Wrap the right thigh around the left. If the foot can get around the calf, that's great. If not, just think of the legs under a table. And then think about the center line of your body, your midline. That's like where all the good stuff, all the good energy happens. Think about straightening everything out along the midline. Weight is in your heel. Good, just release and go to the other side. Just wrap your left arm under and wrap your left thigh around. If you got backwards, find a way. Think of chair. Once again, don't crank your foot around your calf. It's more about keeping your hips forward than getting your foot around your calf today. Shoulders and hips are squared off, weight is in your heel. You're recreating a chair pose with the wrapped arms and legs. And then dig down to get in a little deeper. Good, release, come out to a mountain pose and stand up at the top of your mat. Just stand for a second and feel, just feel for a second. So we're gonna add on a little, we're gonna do it a little different. Bend the lower half of the body a little bit, just bend it a little bit like a baby chair. Wrap your left thigh around, wrap your left thigh around. So eagle just the legs to start. If you can't get your foot to wrap around your calf, don't worry about it, just wrap your thighs. Good, bring your hands to a prayer for a second in the center of your chest. Just focus on balance and standing up on your right leg and bending it. Turn your torso 2 inches or 3 inches to the right. Then open up your arms. Open up your arms. So your lower half of the body is in an eagle. The top half of your body is in this little like kind of opening twist. And it could totally throw you off, but that's the point. Right. If the foot around the calf, Nancy, is too much, just wrap the thighs. Just wrap the thighs. Stay with it. Two more. So keep the lower half of the body in eagle legs. Bring your torso back around to center. So now your arms are really wide, like a wide T. Press to stand, extending your left leg up to a 90-degree angle. So your arms are wide open. My camera's a little cut off, so you can't really see. Yes, but your leg is forward. Your left leg is forward. And your left leg is flexed. And if you want to try extending the leg forward and forward, then that's going to create more abdominal exercise for you. But we're not grabbing the foot today. Keep the arms really open. Float through a warrior 3 and step to a crescent lunge, high lunge. So it's kind of like a 2-part step. That's it. Bring your arms straight up. Perfect. Slide the hands to a prayer at heart. Inhale the breath, hook the elbow, take the twist. So now lean out in front of you and then this time hook the elbow in and get in there. If you need to drop your back knee down, that's totally acceptable. Make sure the stance is wide enough. And then there's a feeling that you're kind of leaving back. Yeah, and if you can open up your arms, that's great. If not, stay right here. Point the elbow up. Squeeze the outer and inner hips in. Activate your back leg if it's engaged, so you're really high on the ball of your back foot. And then the last little bit is like a lean back, so the crown of the head lines up with your back foot. Stay with it. Two more. Look down, place both hands to the floor and pause. Reach for a block, guys. Place it on a high setting. Float up to revolved Ardha. So the block goes underneath your left shoulder. The right hand comes to the flat part of your back. There's a lift of your inner thigh. Good. Right arm can extend up towards the ceiling for the full expression of revolved Ardha Chandrasana. An alternative to today's practice is just to have the hands down on two blocks if you're not feeling like you can support yourself. Right hand can be on the flat part of your back. Good. Flex the back foot strong. Give it a lot of energy. Good. So the twist is coming from above the belly button. Stay with it. Both hands come to the floor, feet come together at the top of the mat. Long spine on the inhale breath. Exhale, fold. Find a chair pose right here. It doesn't have to be a deep chair. Good. So it doesn't have to be a deep chair, baby chair. Here we go. You're going to slide your right leg around. Bring your hands to prayer. So your right leg comes around your left leg and your hands are in prayer. So the foot doesn't need to wrap around the calf if it's too much for you. Good. Take your torso just a little bit to the left, like 2 or 3 inches. Remember, if the whole side of the body is turning, you've gone too far. Open up your arms. Stay upright. Yeah. So if you're opening your arms and your whole body is kind of going to the back of the mat, ditch the foot wrapping around the calf and just squeeze the legs, the tops. Yeah, because I'm really trying to get you to just find the pose in a little bit of a different way this morning. And if your whole body is leaning forward, use both your arms like you'd be in a warrior two. Stay with it. Keep the eagle legs and just bring your torso forward with your arms really open. So just straighten yourself out to face the front edge of your mat. Good. Keep the arms open. Press to stand, hugging your right leg in towards your chest. You're just coming up to a 90-degree angle with your right leg bent in half and your arms open wide. And just be here. And if you want to experiment with extending the leg out to work your core, you can do that, but you could just work on keeping a 90-degree angle. Keep the arms really open and start to thread through a warrior three very slow, and then take a giant step back into a crescent lunge. And if it's not so pretty, you reset. Giant step back, crescent lunge. It's a pretty big, long step. Arms reach up. Drag the hands to a prayer. Inhale that breath, hook the elbow, take the twist. So now you're going to kind of get in there. Perfect. Scissor the inner thighs together. Drop the back knee if you need TLC. Good. So if the back leg is not dropped, it's very strong. It's like plank. If the back knee is dropped, you probably want it more on an angle so the knee isn't kind of jamming into the mat. Open up your arms and do the half open. Look up with your eyes and then lean back a little so the crown of the head lines up with your back leg or foot. When you want to give up, don't give up. Stay with your breath. It's just a feeling. It will go away. 2 more. Look down, place both hands to the floor. Pause for just a moment. Reach out in front of you for a block. I like it on the high setting. Pop yourself back up into revolved Ardha. So the block goes underneath your right hand, the right leg lifts, and the left arm extends up. Modified version today, 2 hands on blocks or floor and just really neutralizing your pelvis. Lift from your inner thigh. So turn, Jody, turn your right thigh down. Yeah, I know. You love my corrections. Flex the foot so that it's like a spiral of your inner thigh. So your foot is flexed and the toes point towards the ground. Yeah. Last little bit, guys. Hug your outer hips in and twist a little bit more. Look forward, place both hands down to the ground. Step your feet to the top of the mat. Long spine on the inhale breath. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer at heart, stand tall. So last standing posture, guys. Stand up nice and tall. Left leg is bent, right leg bends in half. So like we started, grab the ankle, but you're gonna crisscross so it looks like this. So the two knees line up and your left hand grabs your right ankle. The right arm extends up towards the sky. If you can't grab the ankle, you're just gonna make the shape like this. Inhale the breath, give your foot a little bit of a kick into your hand and then start to bring the body forward. But everything is squared off towards the ground. So it's kind of like a crisscrossed dancer pose. That's perfect, Tracy. So you kick into your hand as much as you can kick, which may be about 2 or 3 inches. And then you keep a very lift of the torso and you drop your body down only about 2 or 3 inches. So it's not a dramatic pose. Give it a little more energy, guys. Come up to stand, feet together, top of mat. So last time today, bend your left leg in half, reach with your right hand. So it's the opposite hand and the opposite ankle. Left arm extends up. So this could be the pose today, standing up really upright. Good. Start to give your foot a little kick into your hand, but the thighs stay lined up and the hips stay squared. I like to flex the foot. I find I can get a little bit more action. Yeah. And then start to bring the torso forward. Perfect. If you move forward too fast, you fall. Give it a little more energy. Good. Come up to stand, feet together, top of mat, just stand tall. Sweep your arms out and up. Dive one last time today, over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Step or float through your vinyasa, you pick. Upward facing dog pulls you through. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, you can drop to your forearms. You can go to the wall. Yeah, you can bring legs up the wall for the next 60 seconds. I want you upside down in some way. Dolphin is a great pose. Tighten up your stance in dolphin pose. So you can even do dolphin on blocks with your kind of your elbows down, your hands like this. Let your head just be free. If you're in dolphin, you could breathe your right leg up. Yeah. If you're going to the wall and you're going up, just make sure you're not doing it on a balcony or against a glass door. Yeah, straighten out that leg and breathe the right leg up. And then lower that leg and maybe breathe the left leg up. And then lower that leg. Stay, a few more breaths, wherever you are. Child's pose. And then reset to a downward facing dog. Yeah, reset, downward facing dog. Look in between your hands, hop your feet all the way through and lay down on your backs. When you hit the floor, we're gonna set up for bridge followed by wheel pose right here. So bend your legs in half, have your feet flat down on the ground. Fingertips skim the backs of your heels. That gives you a good idea of the position of your feet from your body, how far they should be. Lift your tailbone up and interlace your hands underneath your lower back. If you're really just like one of those that want to go with the block underneath your low back, go for that. The block can go any level that works for you. It could be low, it could be medium, it could be high. If your hands are clasped underneath your lower back, there's a lift of your upper torso. There's an anchoring of your feet. And there's a shimmying of your shoulder blades. So the lift comes from the tailbone to the backs of the knees. Exhale the breath, lower down. If you're on a block, you just stay. Take a big breath in. Take a big breath out. You're gonna repeat bridge or wheel pose. If you're gonna go for wheel, flip your palms, bring your chin to your chest. Take a giant breath in. Exhale that breath and come up. If you're on a block and you just want to change it up a little, the legs can go straight up, kind of recreating legs up a wall as another alternative. Yeah, perfect. If you're up in a full wheel, make sure your feet haven't gone crazy on you. They're forward and your inner thighs are turning down and under. If you're up on a block, just stay. If you're in a full wheel, come down, exhale the breath, reset. You're gonna do one more. Take a big breath in. Take a big breath out. One more. You got nothing to lose this morning. Give it your best. Give it your best shot. Here we go. Flip the palms, chin to chest. Giant breath in. Some version of a back bend. Come on up. Lift with a little bit more energy. Exhale the breath. Come out with control. When you come down, remove any objects out of the way. Hug your knees to your chest. Give them a big squeeze in. Slide your hands to the outer part of your feet and pull your knees around your rib cage for a full happy baby pose. Broaden the upper collarbone. Spread the lower back against the floor. Good. Stay with me, guys. Just a few last little movements. From your happy baby, bring your knees together. Good. Bring your eyes up into your knees and slide your arms forward. So like in a tight ball. Flex your feet. Draw the navel in. Good. Extend the legs straight up towards the sky at a 90-degree angle. Reach your arms forward. Scoop up your upper shoulders. Draw the belly in. So really feel the lift of your upper shoulders. Yes, your legs are straight up and your arms are forward. Now, rebend your knees and pull yourself up one last time today into boat Navasana. My boat looks like this. It's kind of a sad boat, but it's okay. It's a boat. Yeah, any version of boat. You can hook the big toes. Yeah. Cross your ankles, step or float one last time, vinyasa. We're gonna finish with a hip opener and it's gonna feel great. Move through your down dog, move through a vinyasa, and then from your downward facing dog, you get to slide your right knee forward into a half pigeon. Yeah, so finishing with this is just, to me, it's like perfect. Set yourself up for the next minute on the right side. If something's going on and this really doesn't work for you, you can go on your back and you can take ankle to knee and make it a little bit more passive. So half pigeon, guys. Stay connected to your breath. Just curl through a down dog or a tabletop and feed your left leg forward. If you're on your back, you just switch. And then go right back where you left off on the left side. Let your body just fall into this kind of peaceful trance. Use the strength of your body, push yourself up, lean onto the left side, slide your right leg forward, bend your left leg up in half. Last thing, and you're going to Shavasana. Almost feel like you're hugging your left leg, like do it like that. I'll turn so you can see, okay? Right hand's gonna come behind you, left elbow's gonna come on the inside. Inhale the breath, exhale, twist. Julie, you could just stay up like this. Hug in. Yeah, just create a twist for yourself. Rather than feeling like your leg is wrapping out, hug it in. Come back to center, slide the left leg forward, draw your right knee in, draw it in close. Take your left hand close to the base of your spine, take your right arm on the inside. Inhale the breath, exhale, look over your shoulder and twist. There's a strong flex of your left foot as you hug in and you're sitting up nice and tall. Rather than feeling like you're pushing your leg out, wrap it in so you stay up, zipped up. Come back to center, extend both legs out, lower yourselves onto your backs and set up for Shavasana, complete rest right now. Separate your feet, let them like flop open. Like this is the time to just go for it. Let it all hang out. Close your eyes. And for the next minute or so, just allow yourself to be quiet in your body, in your space, in your breath. Breathe a really big full breath in. Complete it with a generous exhale breath out. Hug your knees to your chest. If you need to come back, you come back now. If not, you just, you could shut off the computer and ignore all this. Rock yourself up in your own way, in your own time, to a seated position. Sit up nice and tall. And have some closure with this morning's practice. The hands come to prayer, the bowing of the head, having gratitude. And then lift the head, open the eyes. Namaste. Thanks always for joining me, guys. Stay warm if you're here in New Jersey. And I'll see you Saturday.